So looks like we're getting ready to go here. Whenever they get started, I will fill you in on what's going on. Right, so thank you, Shred. Acaroline is a 37.53. Alzaraf is a 53. So the times are differing, but uh, we can see a good race out of both these runners. So to start this off, Madeline doesn't have a dash to start, and we want to go fast, so we do bunny hops. Bunny hops will allow us to save 1 or 2 frames for each bunny hop. Um, so we just bunny hop all the way across the stones there, and then go straight into chapter 1. So while we try to get Alzaraf's stream fixed, let's focus on Caroline here. Alright, the Caroline, just follow you, Caroline, because it's easier. So already looking at some pretty good movement here. Getting a couple hypers going into here. Chapter 1 is pretty basic when it comes to movement. It's all about the small optimizations. You can see here doing a hyper to get to that second block very quickly, and then letting it push us up. So how momentum works in this game, you jump off something that is also propelling you in a direction, it will add to the speed when you leave that object. So the blocks that are sending Caroline here to goes in big speeds, just adding to that momentum, and they are already through chapter 1. So going in here to chapter 2, we are introduced to a new mechanic that is the dream blocks. Dream blocks will allow our runners to go through the blocks, and it will maintain the same direction for the duration they're in the block. So we can take advantage of this by dashing through corners of the block to refresh our dash, and if we can't reach a certain spot, we will take advantage of the dream block just propelling us forward. So Caroline is already doing battling. So this is the in the story, it's the main character that we are interacting with as the antagonist. So the battling is 3 seconds behind our movement going into the stage. So wherever you are 3 seconds in the past is where battling will be. So Alzaraf is through chapter 1, moving into chapter 2. Caroline making quick work of this stage that they're currently on. This stage is pretty difficult to get down movement wise. One slip up and battling can just easily catch up to you and have to make you restart the entire level over again. Ooh, Alzaraf trying to get this skip underneath. That just gets it. Caroline going through the end of chapter 2 here. After this, they will be going on to chapter 3, which is the hotel. So, comparing the times between acaroline and Alzaraf, the difference is about a minute. So, Alzaraf is really not that far behind if you really look at it timing-wise. So, Caroline entering chapter 3, gonna start out with some hypers to get the momentum going through the straight portions of this level. And here we are introduced to the dust particles, and they're on a cycle from when you enter the stage or when you die. The cycles are different. So if you take a death on a stage, I hope you know the cycle for the dust on that portion, because they both change. Very nice hyper there. Alright, so a little more about this this chapter. There are portions of walls and floors that if you step on them, they will produce spikes, and that prevents you from being able to walk over them a second time. So think about it as once you go there, you can't go back. Alzaraf on battle and towards the ending, Caroline just entering big mess, having to navigate to Oshiro. So the order that Caroline's going to do the 3 portions of the big mess are in the order that they are, because when the portions of this level end, it'll put them directly by Oshiro, so that way we don't have to waste a bunch of time navigating to them, to Oshiro. So we need to clear 3 sections of Big Mess to get a key to progress to the next area of Chapter 3. Alzaraf getting through Chapter 2, we're going to be going on to Chapter 3. So, Caroline getting done with the second portion of the Big Mess. Going to be meeting up with Theo here. And, Theo is just going to exit the event. He's like, I'm out of here. Don't hang out with this guy. Madeline's just like, you're not my real dad. Alzaraf putting in some good movement in his level. And Caroline is hitting the 3rd switch for the Big Mess. Now all of the stuff in the middle room is cleared, so we are able to gather this key, go meet Oshiro behind this wall, and continue with the chapter. That climb right there that Caroline just did is a little tricky with the dust there, because the dust is on the perfect cycle from when you enter that stage or retry that. They really don't like you. So now to get to Oshiro, who he has blocked our path, we need to get a key to go around. Very nice hypers. Oh, they did get the key. I did not see them touch the key. I was really afraid they didn't get the key and just hit retry and have to do it again. but nonetheless, gets through it. Very nice movement. Okay, so Caroline at a milestone in the stage. We are now entering the Oshiro boss fight. After a certain amount of time, Oshiro will send a lightning at across the stage, signifying where he is going to be charging. And after that, you can either avoid him, which can be tough, but is absolutely doable, or you can bop him on the head. And bopping him is essentially like avoiding him. You just knock him down, and you will refresh your dash. Who is winning? The timers are not really in sync, and I'm not proficient enough with this run to be able to tell you at where they are at now who's in the lead. So maybe someone in the chat will be able to help you with that. Ooh, taking a death in the middle of that level there, Caroline. The further you are into a stage, and when you take a death, the more costly it is. Are there invulnerable frames when you're dashing? There are not. So you can just start your dash and be hit, and you are dead. Caroline getting through chapter 3, moving on to chapter 4. Alzaraf proceeding through a big mess. Chapter 4 is going to give us clouds that we can jump off of to get additional height. You can also dash to the clouds, and when you jump off them, or when you land on them, they will give you back your dash. So you can see some runners land on a cloud and instantly hyper to take advantage of where the clouds are placed, and sometimes it's just faster. Just like that on Caroline's screen. And you might have already noticed the bubbles right here. They provide a short dash and the direction that you are facing. The dash is triggered either after a short specific amount of time, or you push the dash button. When you push the dash button, it'll just give you the direction that you're facing. So it's not, it doesn't just have a set direction. You actually have to input the direction you want it to go. So Alzaraf getting another button with the big mess. I believe that is his second one. Or third one. It's Theo, I believe it's the third one. Yep. So he's going to collect his key and go on to the next portion of chapter 3. So you'll notice the wind on Caroline's screen. The wind is pushing... I lost my words. Is pushing Madeline away. So basic movement forward gives you very little yield. So you're pretty reliant on your dashes to make progress to the stage. And now the wind just suddenly shifts to push her forward in the direction she wants to go. So that instant change can be very tricky if you're not ready for it. It looks like our streams our timers are more in sync now, so it is clear to say that Caroline is in the lead. I would say by about 2.5 minutes. Again, I hadn't been running this game long enough to be able to properly tell you, but it is a good amount of lead. So, Alzaraf taking a death there. Ooh, that wind just stopping on Caroline's screen, just nerve-wracking. Especially on this stage, it's like it stops and then you input and then it goes and you're just like, what happened to my input? Oh wait, the wind. You can't do anything about it. It can't be manipulated. It's just on a cycle. And Alzaraf in the Oshiro chase sequence. Boss fight chase sequence. We can call them the same thing. Gotta be careful though. The further you get in the level, the more costly the deaths. Alright, so Caroline now has an additional element adding to the wind that she needs to avoid. That would be the snowballs you see flying across the screen trying to pelt her in the head. You can do the same thing with Oshiro. You can jump off of them. It gives you a bounce if you hold your jump button. After you bounce off them, you can get some extra height. You also get back your dash. Caroline finishing up the chapter 4 here. Moving on to chapter 5. Only 7 deaths. Pretty good. Ooh, I've taken a death there. Luckily, Alzaraf dying at the beginning of the stage isn't super time consuming. It was way worse towards the end of levels. So here in chapter 5 we have new bubbles. They are red. They have infinite distance that they can be used until they oh, very nice skip there by Caroline first try. So the red bubbles give you infinite distance of travel, kind of like the dream blocks, except they are stopped when you hit a wall. And you can dash. You can use your dash to activate them early. So you don't have to wait for them to automatically go. Okay, Alzaraf, moving on to chapter 4. Oh, Larry, I'm tired too. Had no sleep last night. So, Caroline moving swiftly through chapter 5. Alzaraf behind about a minute and a half, maybe more. It's definitely possible if Caroline has a couple of mistakes here and there. Definitely can come back. Here we get a new enemy added to the chapter, the Seeker. We'll see the Seeker be used in a couple ways. One of which the Seeker will chase Madeline anywhere that they can see her, and then if they can't see her, they will try to maneuver so that they can't see her and then charge. So here we have these blocks that when you dash, they also move. That was also seen at the beginning of the chapter, but we really didn't use it much. We'll be using it much more. So you can see that the Seeker can be used to activate the switches. Although the Switch version of the game is still behind in version, so they don't have that feature. So you won't be seeing that from any Switch people that run on a Switch. But I don't believe that Alzaraf is playing on PC as well. But the explosion from a Seeker, as well as them dashing into a switch, will trigger the switch. Caroline coming up on the single biggest skip of the run, saving 3 minutes. Ooh, alright. Takes 1 death. Very nice second try. Very impressive. So what you have to do there is you have to do a reverse dash jump into a diagonal dash. And then you're able to clear that pit and grab the ledge and proceed on, saving you from having to collect keys. Right, so Caroline, moving on to the Theo portion of this chapter. So Madeline just rescued Theo from her dream or nightmare state Theo was trapped in, and now we need to get Theo out. The problem is when we are carrying Theo in this crystal, we do not have a dash. Luckily, we are able to throw Theo, activate switches, and while we're not carrying him, we are able to dash and then quickly pick him up. So you'll be seeing the runners be doing that a lot. Seeker giving Caroline some issues. Quickly gets past it. Very nice. In a feather state, will it'll if it has to be 13 degrees or less, and you'll keep your same. What am I trying to say? It'll keep your same momentum. So if you use directional pad and you change directions, you'll slow down slightly. So there are branching paths in this room. We'll prefer to go low. You'll see some runners go high. It's arguably very indistinguishable of which one you should go to. People, I hear high skilled runners just say always go low. but the time loss of either one is very low. And so Alzaraf going in here into chapter 5 just at the beginning. Caroline getting some nice wave dashes here. Grab hold of that Kevin block. And so here's a developer intended skip here. You can fall down these 2 holes. The third one is slightly hard to fall down because you actually have to move while you're falling through it. You have very low visibility of what's coming because of the darkness. But Caroline clears it no problem. Alzaraf getting the first key here in chapter 5. Caroline goes for this boost. And we're going fast. It almost gets all the way through to get the Caroline boost, or battle line boost. So, chapter 6, we get to fight battle line. She will use 2 different types of attacks. She will do an orb attack or a laser attack. Orb attack comes out in 2 orbs, and the beam attack is charged. And every time you hit her, you will be knocked back. And you can preserve some knockback distance by either getting stopped by a falling block, or you can dash forward. But as we move on here with Caroline, Alzaraf is activating the mirror to start their seeker sequence. And Caroline doing battling. The further you get into this fight, the longer the rooms get and the more costly a death can become. Alright, so phase 2 of the battle and fight. Now, on top of her attacks, she will move blocks. These blocks are on a cycle, but in actuality, their cycle begins when you get to a certain point in the room. But other than the blocks, it's the same thing as phase 1. So Alzaraf getting through the seeker sequence, making some progress. The room that he's in is very costly if you take a death, so hopefully he gets through it no problem. Hashtag commentator's curse, please no. Oh, just saves it. Very nice. Alright, so he's getting towards the end of chapter 5, while Caroline is now finishing reflection. So we have leveled up now. Caroline's screen, so that means that we get an additional dash. The color of Madeline's hair tells us how many dashes we have. Pink 2, orangish red for 1 and blue for 0. And now I'm moving on to Summit, Chapter 7. Very good run so far, overall. Ooh, there was a really nice ultra coming out of Alzaraf. So we're doing the summit on Caroline's screen now. So at the beginning of the summit, we start with the mechanics from Chapter 6, and then for every 500 meters we go up, we go through Chapters 1 through 5 mechanics again. So 500 we will see Chapter 1, 1000 we will see Chapter 2, and so on. So take all those mechanics that we've experienced before, add another dash to the mix, creating more interesting rooms, and that is the summit. This is the longest chapter of the game. For experienced runners, it easily takes up a fourth, if not a third, of your entire run. So Alzaraf moving through Theo section. Does some rage crouches because overthrew Theo. It happens though. If Theo didn't get caught, we wouldn't have to carry him through this. Very nice use of Theo right there, avoiding both Seekers right there. Very nice. Caroline finishing 500 meters, going up to 1,000. Chapter 2 mechanics. Dream blocks are back. I do not believe Battlein makes her entrance again because she is helping us actually make the climb. So something you can do out of dream blocks is an extended hyper. When you come out of a dream block, you have the opportunity to do a jump and a dash. So you can see some runners being able to get both of those. Like you just saw Caroline get one. Moving very quickly through the summit, we're now moving on to 1500. Alzaraf just finishing Chapter 5. Moving on to Chapter 6, Reflection. So, everything you love about Chapter 3, including the dust, the switches, the floor that you can't walk on more than once, it's all back. And the rooms are long, so add on top of costly deaths for dying late inside of a room. You can lose a lot of time here. I'm playing it a little safe there. It's quite alright. She has a significant lead at this point over Alzaraf, being a full level ahead. So finished with 1500, moving up to 2000. Back to Chapter 4 we go. Green bubbles come back. Like Caroline, is that a corner boost right there? That's boost going up there. I don't know. That was a really nice movement there. Unfortunately, movement it seems to evade them in that room. I'm gonna ride a couple blocks upward. I'm starting to lose my words. Getting a little tired. Kevin blocks. That's the word that I was trying to find. So Kevin blocks work. They have a blue strip on a side of them. Could be all four. Could be only two. When you hit the blue strip, it'll cause the Kevin block to move forward. Very nice skip there by Caroline, first try. Getting the spike boost as well. Spike jump. So the Kevin blocks will go in a direction that in the same side that you bash them. You can use that to your advantage to gain momentum. Very slick movement coming out. Both runners taking a death. Caroline's PB is 3753 as provided by someone in chat earlier. Much appreciated. So, not quite sure if it's still possible for them to PB. Maybe I can get some help in chat. But this is still a very solid run. Alzaraf making their way through chapter 6, getting towards battling. Caroline taking a death there. That block is always pretty tricky. If you dash too low, it'll crush you. If you dash in the wrong direction, spikes will kill you. Just a mess. Everything's a mess. Good screen transition there. Getting some speed through the transition. Going for a door skip here. Chooses to retry. First one. Gets the second one, very nice. I'm gonna call that first try. It was first try, PogChamp. They hit the retry. They didn't die on purpose, on accident to the skip. So Alzaraf making their way down to battling, getting this skip right here. First one opts to go for the third one, not the second one. Interesting choice. Nevertheless, gets it. Very impressive. Yeah, intended retry for the swag. Caroline on the 30 flag climb portion of the summit, almost done with their run. Some excellent time. So we have some additional gravity going on their screen. The wind is going downward, making it harder to jump. So you have to really use your dashes properly to get through these rooms. Alzaraf almost getting the damage boost. Thinking about running this game, you should definitely do it. The community is very supportive. I just started getting into this game. Everybody is super kind. You should definitely give this game a try. Caroline now, instead of more gravity, has less gravity. So it's like you're swimming through this level, which is in fact what they're doing. They're just flying, swimming, you name it, destroying this level. Ooh. None too costly death there, I don't think. Alright, so both players moving swiftly along. They're all making good progress against Battlein. Make out what that flag said. I believe that was 14. Ooh, has to go back. That's 9, I believe. "100% guy." 100% categories are really cool. That sense of achievement is really nice. So, Caroline getting very close to the end of the run. Did she get that flag? I don't know. Got that one though. Good thing. So flag number 4, 3 left. Unfortunately, PB is now out of reach, but this was looking to be a sub 40. And that is time for Caroline. So it looks like Caroline gets a 38-32. It's a couple seconds, almost less than a minute off of their PB. Only 38 deaths, very good. Only 1 strawberry. Could have gotten a couple more, but this is any percent, so I'm not gonna pressure them too hard into getting more. So GG's to them. Alzaraf just getting the level up, so they're going to begin Chapter 7 here pretty soon. So, Caroline, if you want to get in here for an interview, you are more than welcome to join me if you can hear me. Alzaraf going into the summit. Beautiful mountain. It's unfortunate that Madeline just had to fall all the way down after almost getting there. Now we get to climb the whole thing all at once. Alzaraf getting the opting to skip the jumper or dash replenishers. So we're at 500 meters for Alzaraf. Who unfortunately takes a death there. Nice, gets through the second try. So while Alzaraf is making their way through this portion, we take this opportunity to uh, sell out. Make sure you guys go give our runners a follow for putting on a show for us. It's not easy getting up in front of a bunch of people that you don't know, and also don't have experience being in front of a large audience. So definitely brave of them. Definitely worth a follow. So Alzaraf moving past 500, going into 1000. Chapter 2 elements coming back. We'll see a bunch of nice movements here through dream blocks. Right, getting through that room. So they're using some safe strats, but better to be safe than take a bunch of deaths needlessly. Right, so moving into 1500, the I think community agreed on worst part the game. I don't know if that's actually true. Just made that up. But I'm convinced that the runners that I have interviewed after commentating all say that 1500 and Chapter 3 are the sections that they want to improve on or dislike. Ooh, he takes a death there at the end of that room. Pretty costly. All right. So almost out of 1500, moving up to 2000 next screen. Very interesting use of screen transitions there to get their dashes back and move through a stage like that. Very cool strat. Now we come to the windy portion of the climb, or the unwanted wind. Now introduce snowballs again. See if Alzaraf wants to go for this boost. Opts not to. Pretty fair. That is interesting. The boost is not super difficult, but it can definitely trip people up. Ooh, takes a death there. Luckily the wind is pushing him towards the right, so we're able to get back there quicker. Yeah, it gets through that screen. So while Alzaraf is finishing up his climb, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you guys should definitely stay tuned for the upcoming race between Matinix, that's how it's pronounced, versus Chocolate Cake 3000. Should be a good race here on Speed Gaming. I will be commentating that as well. And after that, I believe there will be replays. So for the last run of the night, you might as well stay up for it. So 2500, I believe it's 2500. Yes. So chapter 5, mechanics, the blocks that you have to abuse dash for, and otherwise the red bubbles. Okay, going for a key skip here. And go for the setup again. High enough that time. Okay, opts to go the intended route. Oh, breaks the bubble just beforehand. There we go, gets the key. Hits retry for the death warp. And then moves on. Ooh, almost getting that. Decides to turn around. There we go. Gets through there. Very nice. So he goes for door skip. Negative on attempt 1. It's first door. Oh, just barely messes it up. Doesn't have a dash now. I believe the bracket was based off of seeding. So the more experienced runners are first seed in their groups, and then everybody else is to follow in their groups. I'm not in the tournament, so I don't have to worry about the bracket, but it's not by alphabetical order. Alright, great. So we are moving on to the final portion of the summit. It is the 30 flags. Ooh, interesting movement there. Revolution, given the sweet, juicy details about the how the bracket works. So we're experiencing the higher gravity this time. In the next cycle, next set of stages will be having the updraft of the wind. Barely missing that spring. Yeah. There you go. Clears that section. Very nice. Finish that climb. There you go. Alright, moving on to the updraft wind. Because, downward wind instantly changes to upward wind when you are thrown by a copy of yourself upward. Alzarav's PB is around a 53. So somewhere around his PB. We're having to take a death there. Swiftly moving through these flags. Like 10. Go 9. was too far to the left. While Alzaraf is finishing up, I just want to remind everybody to make sure they follow these runners. Put on a good showing for us, and I'm sure they would all appreciate it. If you are so inclined, you can also follow me as well. I would be very thankful. And also coming up at 2 a.m. Eastern time is another race, Celeste tournament race between Atanix and Chocolate Cake 50,000. So stay tuned after this race for more Celeste action. Ooh, almost goes a little too far with the feather. One more flags. This is gonna be the last flag, or the top of the mountain. Alright, so that is game for Alzaraf with a 58-27. Get your GGs in chat. We will see if Alzaraf wants to do a quick interview. So Alzaraf, if you are in the stream and you would like to do an interview, feel free to come in and join me whenever you're ready. Alzaraf is about to join us. Welcome out, Alzaraf. GG.
That went awful.
You did your best, man. It was a very entertaining run, honestly.
Died like how many times on what's it even called? Golden Ridges?
Yeah, that section is just a nightmare.
It's like my best fucking chapter and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, so overall, how do you think your run went, other than that portion?
Awful overall. I can usually do well, my best is a 52 some. No, sorry, I think it's 53, something like that. Given my rust, I'm actually surprised, but still, I could have done a lot better.
Right. Caroline opted not to do the interview with us, so looks like you're gonna be stuck with me.
Also, not sure how well my internet actually stayed up, given that before the run it was struggling hard.
You were patching in and out, but towards the chapter 4 and on, it was pretty stable enough to cast. So
Let's go.
overall good.
Go off to watch the VOD, see how far behind I was. Jesus.
I think going into chapter 3, you were. want to say even or within 30 seconds.
Into chapter 4. Wait, chapter.
Because you were going into the hotel, I believe, and that's where Caroline, I think, pulled ahead. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a long
Makes
day.
sense. The first 2 chapters are so short, anyways.
Yeah.
Is that? Uh,
So, do you have anything you want to share with our audience? I'm all posting hearts for you.
I'm sorry for making you all go through that. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. That was awful. What, 10 minutes ahead at the end? Honestly, my best bet would just. By the end, I was just beating myself up over every mistake, and it just got worse from there.
Yeah, when you're speedrunning a platformer, like, just it can get in your head whenever you start failing continuously. It's harsh.
Anyways, with that out of the way, I'm gonna go for the night.
Okay, thanks for taking time to interview.
See y'all later.
Have a good one. And with that being said, thank you for watching this tournament race. Be sure to follow the runners and the speed gaming channels, and if you are so inclined, myself as well. So yeah, hope everybody else has a good night. There is going to be another Celeste race in 15 minutes on this channel between Mechanics and Chocolate Cake 50,000. So if you want more Celeste action, stay right here on this channel, and it'll be here in 15 minutes. But until then, I'm Mike1780, and thank you for watching.